Alright guys, what's up? It's Julius again. Got a quick little video I'm going to put up. I guess this will be part 2 of the Motif Master Mode series. I had a question concerning guys that were accessing the external sound engine of another instrument while using their Motif in performance mode while they were in master mode. Kind of basically the same setup that we had yesterday, where you have your zone switch to on and your knob control set to zone as well, and that allows you to come into your part edit and assign each one of the zones, which is basically another word for each one of the faders, to control an external or an internal or both instrument. But what the question was is that guys were having some problems because once they set their instrument into zone switch on and knob control to zone, they lost individual control of their performance. So whereas when the system was set up with zone switch to off and knob control assigned to anything else, they were able to have separate control of their let's see, why is that not working? They were able to have separate control of their wow, it's not working now. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Now we got this. Yeah, they had individual control of their the different parts of their performance. So, as long as the zone switch is off, then you have individual control of your parts of your performance, just like you would have if it was any other performance in regular performance mode. But once you turn the zone switch to on and the knob control assigned to zone, now that entire performance is being controlled by this first this first fader. Okay, now for some people that's going to be a big issue, to others not so much. What I would do if it was me and if it was an issue, I would just get a really good mix of what I wanted my performance to sound like before I started adding the other instruments, and then I would just use that one fader to get the overall mix of the performance in with the other instruments. But I do have a solution if that is a problem. A quick little shortcut that you can use, and I didn't even know this until the other day. I was just fooling around my keyboard, and I noticed that I knew this first section, but if these selected parts, just depending on what you have selected here for zone control, like let's just say if I have it set for tone 1, then the tone 1 settings are enabled. So if you have it set on tone 1, then these these knobs control all of the parameters that are on that tone 1 row. Cutoff, resonance, attack, decay, sustain, release, etc. And if you have it set on tone 2, then they control those. Tone 3, ARP effects, which are like your arpeggiating parameters. And then you can also have it controlling the amount of reverb on the individual parts, the amount of chorus, or where you have that specific part panned left or right. Okay? But what is cool is that if you set it on zone, all the lights disappear. And so that just kind of made me start I guess, guessing, or just got my mind to spinning. So if you push these two buttons by themselves, you can go between the different parameter lines control without swapping it out on this screen. Okay? So if at any given moment during a performance, if you just want to be able to control your cutoff, your resonance, your attack, you would go here and bam, now you can control all of those parameters. And this is from any mode, I think. Same thing, if you want to be able to get a quick fix on your EQ, you can go to tone 2, and now you have all of those parameters at your fingertips. If you're one of the people that use arpeggios and you want to change any of these parameters, you got a quick way to adjust those. But what's cool is that if you push these buttons at the same time, it turns them off, and now let me show you, you are in zone. See, I'm gonna push them at the same time, and it goes to regular. It turns zone switch off, and knob control is assigned to one of the regular parameters. But if you push them at the same time, it turns zone switch and knob control assigned to zone. See that? So now, if at any given time during a performance, let's see, I'm in zone control and zone switch is on. So now that means what? It means that the performance is being controlled by one fader. The whole thing. Okay, turn it back up. There, and they're back on. Okay, I'm just hitting keys. I only have one hand, so I'm really just trying to show you guys how this works, not how I sound as far as playing. So please forgive me for the just random notes being hit. Anyway, but if at any given moment you don't like the mix of your performance, all you have to do is hit these two buttons, and now you have individual control of your sound again. See? Now you can control them individually. So now you can, if you have a problem with the way you're mixing your regular performance sounds, all you have to do is hit these two buttons at the same time, and it turns the zone switch and the knob control assigned to their default settings, which gives your performance individual control on the faders. And then once you're finished, you just push them again at the same time, and it turns zone switch and knob control back on. And now you have individual control of the parameters, of the volumes for your external gear, and your performance is all on one fader again. So just as a quick highlight, just to say everything that I just said quickly, because I'm trying to go kind of fast, but I want to make sure everybody understands. If you have a problem where you want to be able to still control your performance's individual parts, the volume of them, while in master mode, you cannot do that while zone switch is on, knob control assigned is on zone. If you can, I don't know about it, just put a comment at the bottom of this video and let me know, and we can update that information. But I don't know of a way to do that. So in order to get individual control of your performance again with the faders, you have to make sure that zone switch is off and knob control assigned is set on one of the other default parameters. So the quick way to do that is just to push selector part control and multi-part control at the same time. And if you look at that right there, that zone right there shows you maybe these two buttons at the same time is how you turn zone on. So we're going to push those at the same time. It turns it off. Now I have individual control of my performance via the faders, just like if it was a normal performance. Once I get that mix set, I push the buttons again at the same time. It turns zone control back on. So when zone switch is on, knob control assigned is on zone. Your faders cannot control the individual parts of the performance, but they can control your external gear, the volume of your external gear. So if you want to get control of your faders again, you have to push these buttons at the same time in order to turn zone switch off, knob control assigned to a default parameter. That's just a quick way to do it. You can always just go right into this comment edit screen here and change them one at a time if you want. But during a performance, really quickly, if you want to go in there and change the mix of your performance, the individual parts, you push these buttons at the same time to turn zone switch off and put knob controller sign on one of the default values. Then you can get the mix, the level set the way you want them, and then you push this again, and now you have control of your external gears volume again. Alright guys, I hope these videos are helping somebody. If you guys have any specific questions, or if you have any specific things you would like for me to address in a video, please just post a comment, let me know. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. There'll be many videos could come in the future, and also share them with your friends. I hope this stuff is helping. Take care.